Hello, I'm Baptiste and I have chosen the Immersion program because I wanted to learn new and useful languages and vocabulary for traveling and working all around the world. See you soon!
Hello, I am Lisa and I have chosen to learn English through the Immersion program. I started learning English when I was at primary school, so it was logical for me to continue. Now, I learn English because I would like to study in languages later. I love English, I love learning new vocabulary and new tenses. I hope you choose the Immersion program next year. See you soon.
Hello, my name is Luca and I'm going to give you my opinion about the immersion program. First, it is really interesting and I've learned a lot of things about vocabulary and grammar. Secondly, now I'm able to speak with someone who speaks currently English. And finally, I can watch TV program in English.
I think a student in the immersion program has to be at ease with vocabulary. He doesn't have to be afraid to take part in a conversation and to express his ideas and his opinion. Also, he has to be curious to know more about the language. If he's motivated, he will improve, of course.
Which qualities should a student in the immersion program have? In my opinion, the first one would be not being afraid to ask questions, because when you have a question and you don't ask it right away, you're going to have problems to understand the rest of the course, so just ask your questions. And the second one would be not being afraid to make mistakes, because even if you're not sure of your answer, just say it, because if you don't make mistakes, you're not gonna learn. And even if you think your answer is stupid, just say it, and if it's a mistake, then it's a mistake, and nobody will die. So here are the qualities that I think are the best for an immersion student.
Hi everyone! If you hesitate to pick the immersion program, there's nothing to be afraid of. That's not a choice that you're gonna regret. Being fluent in English enables you to speak with people while traveling in different countries and thus make friends from all around the world. Being an immersion student offers you the opportunity to make significant progress and leave secondary school with a very good level of English. This will be a real asset for your professional life. As nowadays many companies have foreign collaborators, it's very important to be able to communicate with them. Moreover, being familiar with having classes in English now might help you in case some of your courses at university are also given to you in English. And remember, immersion is always the best way to learn a language.
Hi everyone, I'm Lola and in this video I'm going to give you the 3 main reasons why you should pick the English immersion program for next year. First of all, it doesn't seem like that, but it's really fun. Teachers are cool and most of the classes are interesting. Secondly, professionally, it can be really important to have acquired a good level of English, if you want to go internationally, for example. And last but not least, English is the third most spoken language in the world. So if you want to go and travel and meet people, it's so much better if you have a good level of English. I hope I helped. Bye.
Hello, my name is Mary and I'm a senior at Saint Jean-Baptiste and also an immersion student. I think the main differences between the first and the second and third degrees are that in first and second grade, in English class, we mostly learn about the basics of the language, so all the rules, the grammar, and the simple vocabulary, and probably many other things that I forgot about because it was a while ago. But then in the next years, it's more about improving our use of English and being able to express ourselves on various topics. For instance, we write stories, we have more oral presentations, even debates, and many other fun activities. That's what's great about immersion, because we have the chance to express ourselves a lot and also quite rapidly, so that's great. And the other big change is that we no longer have sciences in English after second grade. At first, having sciences in French is quite weird, but eventually we get used to it, so that's fine. And we still have history and geography in English, so that's great. So I think that's it. These are the main differences I could think of, at least. I would just like to add maybe that overall the immersion program is great because it enables you to see yourself getting better and improving and even evolving quite quickly, which is a real asset. So thanks for listening, I guess, and bye.
Hi, my name is Sophie Gambier and I'm a 6th grader at Saint-Jean-Baptiste. I've been in immersion since I was in 1st grade and I'm going to explain to you guys the differences between the 1st, the 2nd and the 3rd degrees. So in the 1st degrees, you're going to have a course that is based on learning the basis of the language, which means that you're going to have a lot of vocabulary but also a lot of grammar. In the 2nd degree, you're going to have a course that is based on improving the way you write and the way you speak, which means that you're going to have quite a lot of writing works, but also oral works on different topics and different events that are going on in the world. And in the third degree, you're going to have a course that is more based on improving the way you express yourself in that language, which means that you're going to have debates, but also creative stories to write. I think that in the immersion course is really helpful to improve the way you speak, the way you write in general, but also it's going to help you make more friends and have a closer relationship with them.
So if I had to compare the 1st degree with the 2nd and the 3rd one of immersion, I would say that in the 1st degree, teachers have new children, so they first try to understand how they work, and then they work with basic things like vocabulary, grammar, and basic exercises, yes, to see how they work and how they react. And then in the 2nd and 3rd degree, they see things more specific that they will use in their everyday life and with more specific vocabulary to each team. And so I think that it's more interesting to be in the 2nd degree, even if for the 2nd and the 3rd degree we have to see the 1st one.
Hello, my name is Sophia Cab. I've been an immersion student since 5th grade, and I'm here to talk about my experience. So, normally you start immersion in 3rd grade, but I didn't because I was really bad at English. I didn't know anything, so having science and geography in English was out of the question. Instead, I chose to have normal English classes with the teacher speaking French most of the time. Through the years, my English improved a lot, and so I started to feel bored and feel like I wasn't learning anything new. So in 4th grade, my English teachers told me that I should try to go in immersion because I had the capacity to do it, and so they said that I should try. So I tried, and in 5th grade I finally was in immersion. At first it was a bit hard because geography and history, well, I had never had them in English, so there were a lot of new words that I didn't know, but at the end it turned out okay because the teachers always made sure I understood everything and that I wasn't lost. What also helped me a lot is that in immersion, well, since you do a lot of speaking with people, you get to know them and you make friends, and so most of my classmates became my friends, and they were there to help me. Even though I was new and I was a bit lost, they always made sure I didn't feel alone, and that was really great. So I think that's it for my experience. And if I can give you some advice, is that if you feel like you were in the same situation as I was, if you don't know if you should go in immersion, or if you don't feel like you're learning anything new and you want some change, well, you should give it a try, because first it doesn't hurt anybody, and then it could become something really great, and you could feel better, and it could be the best experience of your life. So give it a try and do whatever you have to show people that you are worth it and that you are capable of being in immersion as much as any other student. So I think that's it, and bye. Bye.
Hello, my name is Arnella and I've been studying translation at the University of Mons for 4 years now. And when I was in secondary school, I had several classes in English immersion. And honestly, I think that this program really helped me, because when I entered university, I felt prepared in a way. And I think that it was very useful, because without that, I think it would have been more difficult to study for my exams, for example. So if you like languages, and more particularly English, I think you should consider the option of having some classes in English immersion. And even if you don't want to study translation or languages later, I think it can still be a great choice, because languages are very important in the professional world. So I recommend it to you all. Bye!
Hi, so the question was, how useful is it for me now that I have studied English through the immersion program, Obviously it has brought me a lot of things, good things, because nowadays it is known that English is very important. Speaking English is a very good tool in your day-to-day life, whether it is for traveling or for jobs. English is very important nowadays, not only for TV shows without the subtitles, but for me especially, when I left school, I went to Australia for 6 months, and thanks to this immersion program, I could adapt myself very easily, because I had a strong background, a strong English background, which helped me to understand people very easily, because when you live to country that speaks English, you will encounter people with a strong accent. Of course, they speak quick, and with this immersion program, I could have adapted myself very easily. So yeah, that is what this program has brought me, and I hope it will bring you a lot of good things like it had for me and my friends. So yeah, bye bye.